Welcome to the Sports Showcase event on Harvard TV. I am Ray Ruse, and I am here with my broadcast partner, Tim Lindekamp. We are at Aberdeen Stadium for a boys baseball game between Aberdeen and Havre Grace, local rivals. Havre Grace is currently 8-4 and coached by Chad Blevins, and this is his 13th year. They were 11-6 last year. And he is assisted by Rodney Bolin, Jason Bauer, and Matt Blethyn. Aberdeen is currently 6-5. They were 6-13 last year, and they are coached by Bob Arnold, and he is assisted by Ethan Wallace, KJ Davis, and Andrew Bednar. And welcome to the telecast, Tim.
Thank you. Looking forward to the game. Today is the fight for the fungo. It's the Cal Senior fungo bat he used when he was doing his camps, and he's touched all of us in some way with the fundamentals of the game. So it should be a good game, and the winner gets to take the fungo home for another year.
Yeah, I heard this story, and I thought this was really cool. I mean, you hear about college opponents, whether they're divisional or not, having a historical game like that every year and getting to bring a trophy back and forth. But I love the fact that they're doing the fungo bat.
It started a couple years ago, and in 2019 was probably the best game. Havre Grace defeated Aberdeen 1-0, and it was just a superb game.
Well, these two schools, and Tim, for those of you who don't know, coached years ago the team here for a while, and he's the current athletic director. They're natural rivals. They're next-door neighbors here, so they'd like to play each other and everything.
Yeah, a lot of family and friends going against each other today, so it's always exciting. And exciting thing for me is, I get to see a lot of my former athletes from both sides of the field playing.
Well, I talked about this in other games, Tim, that I do. And, these teams are filled with parents that put many years into coaching these kids in Little League ball and stuff. And like you said, with local ties, there are obviously going to be dads and moms here that actually coach kids that are on the other team right now, as well as the one they're rooting for.
That is correct. Chad Blevins, the coach of Havre Grace, actually my nephew's on Aberdeen, Danny France, and he coached him in the summer league.
Wow. That's really nice. Now, you were saying that one of the pitching coaches here was a pitcher for the 2016 regional team?
Yes, Anthony Burnjar. He pitched for us. We lost in the semifinals in 2016 in extra innings to Huntington, who went on to win the state championship.
Wow.
We had a really good team that year.
Always like to see people come back and give back to their program and their community. That's a nice thing. So I have here Havre Grace will be obviously batting first, and we'll have Taylor Blevins leading off, and he's the shortstop. Obviously, way back, you got Aberdeen won one state championship, and I'm assuming Cal Ripken Jr. was on that team. But I know they had a good history, especially back in the day with a lot of really successful teams.
Yeah, it was funny. Cal pitched the semifinal game, and it got shortened because of rain.
Wow.
So then he was okay, and he came back and then pitched in the finals to win the state championship.
Well, while we have a minute here to go before they put the team on the field here, I got my last commentator to educate us a little bit on the pitching rules. So I know there's a number, like I think I was told if a pitcher pitches 105 pitches or more, they cannot come back for the rest of the week. And do you know the numbers, Tim? Or close estimation?
Close. I believe a freshman, if he pitches over 50, he needs a day or 2 days rest, and it increases 65, 70, 75, and it's so many pitches and how many days rest you need. But 105 is the magic number, and once you hit that, then you need a 5 days rest before you can come back.
So I do know also that 30 was another magic number. Like if you pitched less than 30, you could come back the next day, and then if you pitched more, you had to have 1 day break.
That's correct.
And I think the next number was either 45 or 60.
Yeah, I'm not
approximately.
sure. Yeah, approximately. I believe it's like 50 or 60.
And for those of you that don't understand that, that's for the safety of the players. You don't want to blow out their arms, their shoulders, anything else. people that don't play baseball do not understand that that's tiring.
Yeah, we pushed for that as coaches for a long time because you would see the first game of the season, which is usually March 21st, a young man go out there and throw, 100, 105, 115 pitches. And, you're not know what you're doing to that young man's arm. So when I was coaching, probably the first 3 weeks, we always pitched by committee. We'd throw 3 or 4 guys every game to work up their stamina.
Well, and that's also a great benefit to have pitching depth. I mean, not everybody has it. And, I saw a team recently, then they said they went 5 or 6 pitchers deep. Now, what does that mean? Are they 5 or 6 pitchers deep with talent or just people that can actually pitch? What's your normal staff when you coached? Were you happy if you had 4 solid?
Yeah, we usually had 3 solid. The 4th guy was our bullpen guy.
Right.
Then we had the guys I called throwers. So you could put them on the mound, and they would just throw and hopefully throw strikes.
Well, and one thing that always amazed me, and his name is very similar to your last name. How do you pronounce your last name?
Lindy-Camp.
So, remember the major leaguer that pitched for San Francisco?
Yeah. Lithicum.
He looked like you could break him if he was on a football field and you had to run into him. He was like 6 foot something, but he was skinny as can be, tall, lanky. And people said, how can a guy like that throw 95 miles per hour?
Right.
And you see different builds in all sports. And you see some of these kids out here, and like maybe some of the football guys say, well, he can't lift with us. He's not strong. Well, he can throw 85 miles per hour. You can't get near that.
That's right.
It's a different strength.
And you look, when you talk about pitching too, like I said, I'm glad the pitch rule came in. I mean, you take a look at Ben McDonald, who was fantastic at LSU, and they just burn him out.
Yes.
So, I mean, he had a decent major league career, but just think if they had pitch counts in college then, he might have been more than what he was for the Orioles.
Yeah, I heard stories about that, and they definitely burnt him out with record numbers of pitch counts in games and stuff like that. So, again, back to the ability to throw a ball hard. I was at one of those places you go down like at the boardwalk and you pay a couple bucks every carnival ride event is not for you to succeed. They don't make money if you can pop the balloon with the dart. But the thing is, I had 2 cousins with me, and somebody said, well, let's do it. And my brother was a good ball player and he could throw hard. And I was like, I don't want to do this, guys, because I know I'm going to look bad compared to the rest of you. And it was not an impressive number. General men, young men and older boys, they were only throwing like 60 miles per hour at this gun near you. And then you hear about these people throwing from this distance and getting up to 85 and 90. That's incredible.
Well, the funny thing is, too, is I don't know if you remember Dave Johnson that pitched for the Orioles.
Yes.
When he was between teams, he was pitching for Kraus Construction at the college. And, of course, when you're watching TV, you say, oh, that guy's got nothing. Well, I got a chance to face Mr. Johnson, and I swung at every first pitch because he had really good stuff. I think we're missing the other
That's
umpire.
what I was wondering. I was wondering why we hadn't started yet, and I see the one umpire talking to the 2 head coaches. So they are waiting for another official to show up, an umpire to show up. So we're going to take a little break here, folks, until the umpire comes and we look like we're going to get started. So stay tuned for the game action. Welcome back, folks. We are here at Aberdeen High School. I'm Ray Hrues, and I'm here with Tim Lindekamp. And we're getting ready to start the game. We were waiting for the second umpire, and to defend him, he was literally coming from doing another game at North Hartford. So that's a little advertisement, Tim. We need more umpires.
Yeah, actually, at the AD meeting, we're going to talk about maybe starting JV games and varsity games a little later so we can try to get some more umpires.
Yeah. So we got Tyler Blevins leading off here for Havre Grace. He is a shortstop, and he's a junior. And our pitcher for Aberdeen is Tyler Kenny.
Great story about Tyler Blevins. He had some heart difficulties, had to have surgery. It's glad to see him back on the field.
Wow. Swing and a miss there. That ball kind of broke a little bit off the plate there, Tim.
It's like a nice little curve ball there. Let's see what he throws here on this pitch.
The well-struck ball, it looks like it's going to make foul territory, but question is, that's like that no man's land between third baseman, shortstop, and left fielder.
He tried to run that fastball up the ladder a little bit to get him to chase, so being 0-2, I would probably try to run it up the ladder a little farther.
So the pitcher's definitely an advantage here, so, you know, you think he could throw something off the plate and make him chase, which is exactly what he did. Ball's dropped. And threw him out. That catcher was almost too calm there for a second for me there. I was like, when's he going to throw that ball? But I guess he lined it up and felt confident.
I like how he cleared the runner.
Yes.
Went way out into the infield, cleared the runner nice and easy.
Now, the runner does have a line that they have to run. And if they come too far inside the line there, the umpire can call them out on interference, correct?
That is correct.
Inside pitch. So what is the common repertoire that you think that a high school pitcher could have? Obviously fastball and curveball. What amount of them have a changeup and a slider?
Well, actually, that's the big thing they should work on when they're younger is a changeup because there's so much tension on your elbow throwing that curveball. Now here 2-1, he's probably going to come with a fastball.
Right. So we got an advantage for the batter here. Got a ground ball to third base, grabbed, thrown over, came down with it.
All right, way to go, Stretch.
It's good when you're that tall.
They could hardly see.
That was a nice play by the first baseman. He actually used the bag to get him some lift to catch that high throw. And he's a tall young man down there, too.
Well, that's for Aberdeen. That is Connor Sullivan.
Yes.
And the third baseman was Justin Simpers making that throw. It looks like our third baseman's battling the sun, as do all the people on the left side here, Tim. Well, that looks like a kind of a drop pitch there.
Yeah. Right now, his curveball's working very well. So if he can command that, he should pitch pretty good today.
Nice hard hit ball. Right between the second base bag and our second baseman. He struck that ball really well.
He left that curveball up, hung it a little bit.
Okay, we got a man on first here, Tim. Are we going to see any running game out of these teams?
You know, high school baseball is pretty good at trying to run. Our catcher's pretty good. I think if they've been watching, try to get a pattern here. So he missed that fastball, so he'll probably throw a curve here. This would be a good opportunity to run right now on the curveball.
It does seem to be liking that curveball a pretty good amount here. Foul ball. On deck batters and coaches have to beware over here.
Yes, they do.
Have you been hit by many foul balls, Tim?
3 or 4. 3 or 4.
Any of them knock you down?
No. You have to, like, you know, just play it off and jump up even though you're hurting pretty bad.
Yeah, I saw a coach in our last game almost do a split down the third base line trying to field a ground ball.
Yeah, and it's funny, you know, Maryland's still one of the only states you don't have to wear a batting helmet coaching the bases.
Really?
Yeah, most of the other states you have to wear it now.
There you go. We just talked about it, and Coach Chad's got a duck. Coach.
That's why we should probably be wearing them in Maryland.
Yeah, I've seen many. Like one thing that amazes me is runner on third and what kind of a lead they get, because you could have a ball creamed at you.
Oh yeah.
When you're down on third base. You reached out for that one there, Tim, to protect it. Looked like it was probably a good idea.
Well, Bryce Bowers hitting 417, so you know it looks like he puts the ball in play pretty good.
Okay, there we go. And it looked like a pretty easy stolen base there. Would you say that one was on the the pitcher, when they say you steal on the pitcher?
Yeah, the pitchers we're creatures of habit, so he doesn't change his delivery time. He's got to hold a little longer, or come to the plate a little quicker. This is a good position for Bryce Bauer right now, though.
So Bryce Bauer is I thought this was Logan Ward up the bat here.
Oh, you might be right.
Bryce is on the base, correct?
Oh yeah, they had a pinch runner for Bryce. Yeah.
So Logan Ward is our first baseman, a junior. That could make that's going to be a tough play. They're going to call the runner out there, so that would have been a ground out, Tim. But the runner was moving, and to avoid the tag, they kind of did a little bit of a veer off to the left there, and you got the Aberdeen coach questioning the call, but I think it was the right call.
Yeah, and that comes down to some fundamentals. You don't want to run yourself into an out, so he could have froze, made the third baseman throw it across the dime, and never know, he might have threw it away. Got a cheap run.
So we got our new pitcher here for Havre Grace. We have Bryce Bauer on the mound. And then leading off for Aberdeen, Sean Doran is a junior, right fielder.
Yes, he is. He's been leading off all year. Puts the ball in play usually. Good contact guy. Currently hitting .485, so see if he can get something started for Aberdeen right off the bat.
So you like a leadoff batter with a good on-base percentage, So hits are one thing, but you obviously want them to have a good eye. Obviously to do a little bit of favoritism here. A lot of Oriole fans are Adley Rutschman fans right now, and the thing I love about watching Adley, some people love the home run or this, that. I love how good at bats he has. He swings at strikes, he takes balls. It's rare for him to strike out, and if it does, it's usually a little bit of a borderline call for an umpire.
He's a good number 2 hitter because he puts the ball in play. Yeah. That's what you want your number 2 hitter to do.
So got a left-handed batter coming up here. So, Tim, I asked Pat in the last game, in major leagues and college, batters will move up and down the lineup a little bit sometimes. I mean, if they were left on left batting or left on right, did you move players a little bit if they weren't your top hitters based on facing a lefty or a righty?
No, I didn't move them too much. I mean, maybe if a guy was struggling a little bit, I might drop him down in the order a little bit. But I tried to keep my lineup pretty consistent.
Okay. I didn't know if you maybe saw that ex-lefty was hit .450 against a right-handed pitcher, but he would bat .110 against a left-handed pitcher. But I guess in that case, you might not even start him that game.
That's true.
So you do have, well, that's a nice low pitch.
Yeah,
got to chase for that one.
Thing is, too, with high school kids, if you move them from 1 to 6, it might get in their head, too, and they might struggle even more.
Yeah. So you really say you want your batters to have a good eye, but you don't want them looking for the walk. You still got to be aggressive in the strike zone. I heard them talking about one of the rookie Orioles saying he's trying too hard to be patient, and you need to be aggressive like that pitch in the strike zone.
What I always said when I was coaching, we call it aggressive patience, which is a play on words.
That's a good one.
But when I come in, it's 0 count. I'm looking for the ball in a certain spot, and if it's there, that's what I'm going to swing at.
Mm-hmm. It's ahead of him. Got a ground ball to our shortstop. Nope. I'm going to say that that's obviously an error, but I want to also say that he might have been able to beat that out.
I was thinking the same thing. He got out of that box pretty quick. So
I'm going to give him a single because that ball was not hit very hard, and he was being a left-hander. He got out of the box quick, and he was down that line. So I think that would have been a bang-bang play at best. So we got Tyler Kenny coming up here, our pitcher. So let's see what he can do with a man on and nobody out. He hits a ground ball just foul.
Yeah, Tyler's hitting 297, so I mean the key thing is here he needs to being the number 2 hitter, he's got to get the runner over in the scoring position.
So when you look at this Aberdeen lineup, pitcher batting 2, shortstop 3, third base 4, catcher 5, you know, not uncommon. Some of
No.
your best athletes playing those positions, also some of your better hitters. Okay, call that a strike. You have to learn the umpire strike zone.
Oh yeah.
So from my vantage point, that ball looked like it was 4 inches outside. But if he consistently calls that all game, then it's okay.
That's the big thing, being consistent.
Well, you know, we're commentating this game for Hartford TV, and we're very happy to do so and fortunate. You watch the Orioles. Jim Palmer doesn't hold back sometimes, Tim. And, you know, he is getting older, but he will say, well, you can't have a floating strike zone now. That will drive the coaches crazy. But umpires have their different strike zone. Now, that ball was outside and steals second base. So Sean Doran showing some speed there.
Come on, win it, kid.
So now it's up to Tyler Kenny to either get a base hit or at least push it to the first base, second base side of the infield, get him over to third to try to get a run here early in the first inning.
So the difference in these 2 innings is last inning, I want to say that the stolen base happened with 1 or 2 outs. So now you had a man on second with nobody out, but the pitcher was able to strike out Tyler Kenny. I was going to ask you before that pitch, you know, it's too many pitches into the count to think about a bunt there, probably. Yeah. So you weren't going to do it there, but you got 2 batters here to get a hit to bring this runner in. How often do you steal third, Tim?
Not very often. You know, you keep creeping, and if the second baseman goes off, you know, I'll give him a little, like a wink or a wave to tell him to come if, you know, he can get a good lead. But right now, he doesn't have a big enough lead, and the shortstop's over in the hole. Second baseman's holding pretty close.
So you call this situational hitting here. If K.J. Miller can hit this ball to the right side between second base and first base, because the second baseman is having to cheat towards the runner. If you can slap one over there, you're easily going to get him to third, and you might even get a single through the hole. That was a nice pitch.
Yeah, that was a good pitch.
So I'm old, Tim, and I like those hitters back in the day that weren't all power. The Carews, the Boggs, the people like that if they saw you fielding a certain way, they said, oh, you're going to give me the right slide? I'm just going to slap a ball through that right side.
Yeah, so you're not a launch angle guy.
No, I'm not.
Me neither.
I mean, in most sports, you take what the other team gives you. And I guess as an example, it drove me crazy before they changed the shift rule where there'd be nobody on the left side of the infield, and they were saying a major league batter could not bunt down the left field line. I'm like, they're giving you a single. Take it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a grumpy old man comment, doesn't it?
Mr. Chris Davis.
Yes. Like, he didn't even have to do a bunt. He could have just checked his swing to the left side. And I actually saw him do it one time, and he actually got a double on it because the left fielder was playing almost in center field. And then everybody said, well, no, he's going to do it regularly. No, he didn't. Still tried for the fences, right?
They always do. Well, Bauer's got 2 outs now. Maybe pitch out of this inning. There we go.
Man moved to third. I forgot that missed there. Tim, how did KJ get out again?
He struck out looking.
Struck out too? Okay.
And
So
Doran made a little mistake because he thought it was a foul ball that came back here to the screen.
So he could have already
moved
been there.
Yeah, he should have already been at third.
And then he could have scored on that one. So now we have our DH, Ian Welton, DHing for our third baseman, Justin Simpers. So for the people that don't know, Tim, you can DH for any position.
Any position in high school baseball.
Okay. And then the courtesy runner, as long as the same person courtesy runs for that person, they could do it repeatedly in a game.
Just for the pitcher and catcher.
And then, but that player that's the courtesy runner, they are eligible to be inserted in the game later.
Yes,
that
they
does
are.
not affect their eligibility.
No, it does
Okay.
not.
Now, let's say player X is courtesy running for the pitcher who's going 3 for 3, but then they need to put the courtesy runner in the game somewhere else. Does that mean nobody else can courtesy run for the pitcher the rest of the game?
No, you just get a new courtesy
You get a
runner.
new courtesy runner?
New
Okay.
courtesy runner.
So we got a walk there, folks. So now we have first and third, Tim. And it's kind of puts you in a position with, even if your runner on first base is not a speedster, you can run him, because will the catcher throw down the second with a runner on third?
Yeah, I don't think he'll go on the first pitch, but
Nice pitch.
I think that I think he's going to go on this pitch here, and we'll see what the catcher does, if he throws through or if he eats it.
That was a nice pitch. I think he brought it on the last two.
Yeah.
So 2-strike count here, I think. The runner did go. Took the pitch.
Right on the corner.
Wow. So he struck out the side. He gave up a single and a walk, but he did strike out the side there. So at the end of one inning, folks, we have a 0-0 game. That inning, no runs, 1 hit, and a walk. So here it comes, Tim. Look at this pitch. Froze him.
Froze him. You know, you always try to tell kids, 2 strikes, you got to be up there battling. You never want to go down looking.
Yeah, you definitely had yourself a situation there where you would have liked to see him at least protect the plate.
Yeah, you have to in that situation. I mean, you can't, with a man on third, first, you got to fight that off somehow and hopefully get a better pitch later.
Mm-hmm. So we both teams got a hit in the first inning, but neither team were able to score. So now we have our number 6 batter coming up here. Number five batter, Dylan Zachary Nance. He's a junior and he's our right fielder.
He's hitting 263 on the year, so, you know. So as a pitcher, if I had this stuff, I'd probably go right at him and challenge him right away.
Mm-hmm. So you think this is your stadium, Tim? So give me an idea of the depth of the outfield here, the fence. Is this looks like it's further than the last one I was at?
It's about 385 down the lines.
Yeah, it's definitely further.
And then 4, I don't know, in center field. Probably
Yeah,
about,
you're
probably
not-
about 420 in center
You're
field.
not likely hitting one out here.
I've seen a few, but not many.
So the Patterson Mill, it was only 333 down the line. So big difference. And that was a factor because they hit one ball up against the fence that was hard for the outfielder to field.
Yeah, there's a lot of outfield out there to cover for those outfielders.
Are you as the AD doing the Mike Elias, let's move the fences back move here for your pitching here, Tim?
I'd rather move them in to help my hitters.
Oh, wow, nice pitch. Swung and missed at that. I think he's ahead 1-2. Yep. Such a special talent to be a good pitcher. Now, that was outside bouncing in the dirt, but I'll tell you what, the batter thought about that for a second.
Yeah, I still think he's living on that curveball too much. I would go right here and challenge him.
Mm-hmm. 2-2 count. Top of the second inning. He hit that ball pretty well. As I talked about the distance, you've got the sun. He was not able to bring that in. He's going 3.
He's going to score.
That was a triple by Dylan Zachary Nance. It was a well-struck ball, and if you really think about it, in the exact worst place for the left fielder with that sun to deal
that
with.
sun. And then there was some fundamental things where we come up throwing the second when you know it's automatic double. You should have been lining up the third right away. So he's got a little jam here to see if he can pitch out of this.
Okay, so this is going to be a tough situation. Man on third. This is where you want your players to all put the bat on the ball. It's a pet peeve of mine as a fan just to watch my team leave a man on third base with nobody out. So you just got to make some contact here, preferably to the right side. Squeeze bunt. Runner is coming. He scores. Runner's going to second. I'm a little surprised he threw that ball.
Yeah, you know, he had a chance to get him at the plate, but sometimes, you know, you just want to go ahead and get it out because now you opened up, you know, they always say, Cal Senior always said, take care of the little things. You never have to worry about a big thing.
Yeah.
So now we got no outs and a man on second.
Runner almost thought about going to third on that throw down, but the ball was backed up pretty quickly. And that throw was there in time. If they were able to execute that, they would have had him.
Yeah, I think the catcher might have just took his eye off the ball trying to, you know, catch it and tag at the same time.
Now I'm going to ask you a scoring question here, Tim. Plays at the plate, is that bunt considered a single or not because they don't throw to first?
That is a fielder's choice.
Okay. They almost threw behind the runner and got him there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of play, in the reality of the game, where he put that ball, if nobody was on base, I think he would have beat that out as a single.
Oh, I agree.
Because it was definitely between the two. So now we've got definite little ball going on here. So you have a sac bunt there by, so the first bunt was by Brady Walker, our center fielder, and it was a very nice bunt. And then we have another sac bunt by, the first one was a squeeze. And then the next one was just a sacrifice bunt by Mason Waller, our third baseman. And on the throw, the runner went down to third base. So now you got a single, or a clear single, maybe a double or a triple. Oh, he's going to stop with a single. So that was Frank Rogers, our DH, single and an RBI. And our runner, he thought about turning there, but you know what? It looked like our right fielder was playing down the line pretty good on that anyhow.
It looked like he was cheating over a little bit with the left-handed hitter. But you notice now they've got a couple runs in by playing small ball, fundamental baseball.
So now we've got Tyler Strorka coming up, and he's our catcher. Got a little noise coming from the bench here on the balls and strikes.
If I was a third baseman, I'd probably cheat up a little bit since they've been bunting a lot.
So he definitely likes that outside pitch for a strike there. The umpire is calling that pretty consistently. So number 9 batter, batting order. High inside.
So the third baseman's still playing back behind the bag. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's a 9 hitter. If he drops down a bunt, even if they throw him out, they got another runner in scoring position. So, you know, I might cheat a little bit up at third base.
So we got a 2-0 game here, I think, Tim. Still a man on first base here. 1 out. You know, he definitely could. I mean, and he hits it to him. Let's see, he's going to second. Pulled him off the bag. I thought he pulled him off the bag there.
I thought they did too, and I guess we're going to go with in the vicinity play there. And
So we have
the out.
Force out. he must have had a long drag leg back there to be able to keep that foot on the base, but we're not on top of the play, and he is. So watch this play here, Tim. Let's see what we got. So we got a wild pitch here. Man moves to second base. So the runner breaks. We'll get a better view here. Yeah, he kept his left foot on the
he kept
bag.
his foot on the back.
I think it was deceiving because I was looking at his right leg, and I didn't realize as he was dragging the right leg that his left foot was still in the bag. So that's a well-hit ball, but it's going to drop.
Oh, nice
wow.
play by the center field.
Wow, that was robbed of a hit there. And that center fielder for Aberdeen is Jack Morrill. Wow, that was an outstanding catch.
An outstanding catch.
That could have really busted that inning open.
Yeah, you could have the floodgates open up there pretty easy.
I mean, if he drops that. So here we have the ball flew out there, right in the middle there, blooping. Came in, laying out. Outstanding.
Oh, yeah, nice play.
And then his teammate goes back and picks up his
Picks
hat.
up his hat, that's right.
So that's the least I could do, teammate. You just slid your chest across the field there and made a layout play. I see those plays happen, Tim, and sometimes it scares me the way the player's glove or hand buckles under them. How do you practice that, Coach? I mean, do you do tossing balls out there? Do you practice them laying out, or is it too much to risk injury?
No, that's just instinct and going after the ball. And you know, like you were saying, if he doesn't make that catch, then we're at a 3-0 game.
Yes, and the runner would. That ball kicks all over the place if
Right.
it bounces in front of you. By the way, AD Linda Camp, beautiful field, well manicured, looks great. Outfield looks beautiful.
Yeah, I've got a real good maintenance man that when we tell him we need it cut, he gets out and cuts it, and he cut it today for us.
So at the end of that inning, we had a triple, a bunt, a squeeze bunt, a sac bunt, a single, and 2 other flyouts. But really could have been a big inning there. And if you really think about it, there's only 2 official hits, but those bunts were a big factor.
Very big factor. This is where Aberdeen now has got to try to score this inning to get, take a little bit of the momentum away from Havre Grace.
Well, the last time these two teams played earlier this year, Havre Grace won 12-2. But I would imagine this is a pretty good rivalry. Outside low.
Yeah, it's a real big rivalry, and the first game was early in the season, so still finding your way. So Aberdeen's improved since then, pretty good. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, we got a ground ball to our second baseman. That was good composure there. He dropped the ball at first, but he realized he had plenty of time.
That's a good thing about playing second base. You have a little bit of time.
You're really close to first base.
That's right.
So what positions did you play growing up, Tim?
Oh boy, I started off as a third baseman.
Hot corner.
Then
That's
I moved
scary.
over to second. I played a little bit of outfield, and I was like an emergency catcher. Never was on the mound.
Played a couple years of baseball. My brother was a star. It just wasn't my sport at the time, but now I'm the biggest baseball fan there is. And I played third base and center field, and never considered myself a timid athlete, but man, when some of those balls came off that bat at third base,
I know.
and you thought you were going to eat them.
My favorite position was second base overall, though. I enjoyed that the most.
She probably did.
You ever played any slow pitch or fast pitch softball?
Yes, I played slow pitch softball out at the old Marylander Club on base.
Remember that? Great thing.
And yeah, played out there for a while, and really didn't like the game. I thought it was moved a little too slow and too many home runs for me.
So my dad's in the Senior Softball Hall of Fame for the whole nation. Was outstanding, and he used to pitch. And we had a team together for a while when he was a little bit younger. And people could hit a slow pitch softball so fast at third base and pitcher. I don't know how they played without chest protectors himself. What a pitch there. That was a nice fastball, I think, there. Had a hard time catching up with that one.
Fastball. Yeah, when I played slow pitch softball, the first thing I told him I was an outfielder.
Now, there's a little bloop. Let's see
That
what
could
kind
spin
of,
back.
okay. Yeah, I did the same thing. I did the same thing. I said, well, I wasn't as good as the other outfielders, so they had me catch. But then that was pre the rule where you couldn't run over the catcher, so I got flattened a couple times. And then I said, I'll play outfield.
Yeah.
Well, now they changed those rules. How does that transpire towards, we got ball 4 there for Jack Morrell. How does that transfer to high school rules with the catcher and the contact?
Well, it's
Still, can they not block the plate also?
they can still block the plate,
Right.
but you cannot run him over. It's automatic ejection.
Really?
Yeah. And the bases, you have to slide directly to the base. Like the
Yeah,
old days, you
yeah.
could really go out and try to take a shortstop or second baseman out.
So let's see if Jack Morrell is going to be a runner here at first base as well. We got Danny France at bat. He's a junior left fielder. So I've said this last game, I'm an ex-track and field person, and I was a runner in soccer. I love speed. I love speed in any sport. So I love seeing the stealing the bases game and taking the extra base and things like that. There he goes.
All right,
He had a little
clutch.
double clutch there. And they called the batter out looking on the strikeout
Yeah, there
there.
might be an interference here because he stepped
Yeah.
across the plate. So
I'm going to see if they're disputing this. So that's a 2-out play there.
yes, it is.
So interference, and the inning is over. That's a first for me, Tim. I'd like to learn. Here we go.
You can see here, watch him step right across the plate. He can't interfere with the catcher's throw. So he catches it
Swung.
and he
then
steps right into the throw.
Yeah,
So that's interference.
That's a good call. So we had one walk, but no runs, no hits, one left on base. So we, you know, my point here for base running, in the major leagues, they made a lot of changes in rules. So now they have the wider base at first base, and I think that's a safety rule. Do you think that will transfer to high school eventually or not? College?
I think high school will wait and see what college does. And once college makes the move, I think then high school will make the move. I think the big thing right now with high school sports is the private schools have went to the shot clock in lacrosse.
Right.
So I'm thinking in the next year or two, the public schools will probably go to the shot clock.
Okay, I was asking about that during the cross. Now, obviously, the bigger bases, the concern is safety. And that, so there's not as many collisions at first base between the first baseman putting their foot on the bag and the runner coming down for a quick bang bang play.
Yeah, that was one of the big ones, and the other one was the major leagues wanted to emphasize speed, like you talked about. They wanted to get more stolen bases. So now you got, the bases a little closer to second's a little closer to you. So I
And-
think it'll pick up the steals.
The pitch clock
Pitch clock.
is affecting the base running. They can only throw over. There you go. That ball is just, that was a weird struck ball, Tim.
Yeah, it was. That was
That was our leadoff batter again. That was Taylor Blevins. I think it was Taylor. No. Well, let's see here. That's Riss Eder.
yeah, that's Eder.
So I missed the end of that last. Oh yeah, I have it right. That was Riss. So that's a bloop. So that, how would you describe that? That ball looked like it was going to have more, but he must have called the end of the bat.
Probably
more.
caught the end of the bat, had a little backspin on it.
Okay.
I'll tell you, Bryce Bauer just fought off a nasty curveball there.
So that was like the fielder fielding a knuckleball. Swung and missed, fouled it off slightly, it looked like. So back to those rules that I like about it is the big one is that the pitcher was only able to step off twice and throw over to first. And if they do a third, which they can, if they don't successfully get the runner out, it's a balk. Now that's a well-hit ball. Looked like it took one hop, and I would say that our left fielder played that ball very
Yeah.
well.
That could have been easily a double.
Yeah.
And, France cut that off real nice and got it in real quick.
Now, he was down the line, too, there, pretty close. But still, if that ball skips by him, that goes from a single to a triple if that ball gets down towards the fence.
And see, this is the little things there. It was an 0-2 pitch. He tried to go with a high fastball. Just didn't get it high enough.
So Bryce is 2 for 2 now. Now we have our cleanup hitter, Logan Ward, a first baseman junior, coming up with an opportunity to see if they can get something going here again. So last time Logan was up, he had to ground out. It's a high fly ball. Okay.
Whoa.
That ball was moving.
Yeah, it was. I don't know where France was throwing it to, but kind of ended up in the middle of the infield there. But I don't think he thought he could get him at first base, but maybe he was trying to. I don't know.
So we got 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning, folks. Havre Grace with a 2-0 lead. Aberdeen wants to keep this game where it is right now.
Ooh.
Oh, wow, that ball, that was almost there.
First baseman catches that. I believe he might have been out.
Yeah. He had it timed.
He's got a nice big lead, so I think he's going to be off to the races.
It's thrown away. He's going to get to second base pretty easily. So Bryce's father is one of the coaches here, and his grandfather was a coach at Joptown High School when I went there, and he was the athletic director for a while. I was lucky to say hello to him today. He was one of my teachers, great guy.
And his mother is a math teacher here at Aberdeen High School.
Wow. I had a feeling that was going to be a strike. That's exactly where it's been called the whole game so far.
And I wasn't supposed to say this, but his mother was Hartford County Teacher of the Year last year.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, it was one of the runner-ups. So
Runner-ups. Huh?
yeah,
Well,
fantastic math teacher.
why can't you say that? I think it's a great thing to say.
Because we kid with each other all the time.
Oh, there
There
we
we
go. So we got a pop foul out there for, I think that was our DH. Is it our DH there that hit that ball? I think that was Dylan's. No, that
Yep.
was our right fielder. No, was that Brady? Was that
The
Dylan?
right fielder, yep.
Dylan, okay. You know what confused me there? His number's 24, and the next batter that was coming up behind him is 42. And I'm looking at both of these numbers, and I'm saying, which one just did that?
Excuse me.
So at that inning, we did have one single for Havre Grace, but they weren't able to do anything else with it. So 0 runs, and they had a runner left on base. At the end of 3 at-bats for Havre Grace, they have 2 runs, 4 hits, and 3 left on. And the runs were earned. So now we're coming to the bottom of the 3rd inning for Aberdeen. And we should have our number 9 batter coming up. But that was a weird thing. Last inning was a new one for me, Tim. I've never seen an interference double play.
That's kind of a first for me, too. I've been coaching for a long time.
So as a coach, you just give that player a little small talking to, and you just say, hey, look, you know, you probably weren't thinking in the moment, but you've got to let that
Well,
clear.
you know, we always say when you're stealing third, we want you to stay in the box, so the catcher has to throw behind you.
Right.
You know, we don't want you to step out of the box, so it's just, you know, stay in the box till the play's over. Strike on the outside corner there. He's painting that outside corner pretty good right now. The same spot, just a little low.
So, you know, you say painting that outside corner. I think that's smart pitching there, realizing the umpire's strike zone. And he's been calling that pitch 2 inches off the plate a strike. So now it's an established strike for this game, so you might as well do that repeatedly. That was a great pitch there. Looks like I think we have a 1-2 count here. And pitcher is in control right now. Got the number 9 batter, like you said before, Tim, with the other team. You know, you feel like you got to go after the number 9 batter.
Yeah, you have to challenge him. And what I like about Havre is, if you notice, the third baseman's playing up. So, you know, as a number 9 here, I'd peek down there. You know, less than 2 strikes. If he's deep, I might try to drop one and beat it out.
So this is Aiden Fleming, our second baseman. And you know what? He's already a freshman in the lineup. That's impressive.
He's still trying to get his feet wet with the bat, struggling a little bit, but plays a solid defense at second base.
Pretty impressive in male sports for a freshman to ever make a varsity team. Struck him out. So now we're back to the top of the order here with our leadoff man, Sean Doran, right fielder and junior. Now, do you know many of these athletes, Tim? We got some players here that are in some other sports that you know of.
We have a few that play volleyball, a good bit of soccer players. And, you know, I don't like the way sports is going right now where they're trying to concentrate on one sport. I like the athlete that's a well-rounded athlete. Hopefully plays 3 sports in high school. I was a 3-sport person.
Ground ball, a foul. Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Tim. I get on that soapbox in a lot of my games that I call. I talked about this with Don. Specialization does happen. My biggest pet peeve is when a real serious club coach tells a kid who's really good at a second sport, you need to focus on my sport. Are they going to the World Series? Are they going to the Olympics? Let the kid be successful in more than one sport.
I was lucky enough to play, you know, soccer here at Aberdeen, wrestled for Coach Slutsky, and then played baseball here. And, you know, it's just, I think it helped me all around.
Yeah, I know the Slutsky family well, and Brent was going to call the wrestling championships with me, but then something came up with work. Mr. Slutsky Sr. is a great guy. I've had much fortune to talk to him. Talk about a dynasty program for a while there, the Aberdeen wrestling program.
Yes. I was lucky enough to wrestle for him, and I even coached with him for a couple years.
You've had quite many legendary coaches at this school. Struck him out.
I tell you, Bauer feels like he's feeling it now. It could be a little tough for Aberdeen. They need to try to manufacture something and get somebody on base and try to put some pressure on the defense here.
That's his 6th strikeout already, and we're in the 3rd inning.
Right.
So then, you know, I'll see later on if we can get a report on pitch counts. But being that it's Monday, I would imagine each of these teams has at least one other game and maybe 2 this week. What I don't know about is makeups from rainouts previously and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know Aberdeen has Edgewood Wednesday and Fallston on Thursday.
I mean, that comes into your decision making for how many pitches you're going to let them pitch today.
Exactly.
But then that's a tough, you've coached, so this is a tough call. If he's on and it's still only 2-0, do you want to bring a relief pitcher in, or do you win the game you're in first before you worry about the next game?
Yeah, you always focus on the game you're in right now.
But what I don't know is their pitching depth,
Right.
like what they have for the 2nd or 3rd game this week.
And Haverty's Grace got 2 more games this week. They're at Elkton on Wednesday, and they play Bow Manor on Friday.
That's a nice ground ball. Our pitcher dove for it and just missed. Nice put out by our second baseman, Risk Eater. So 3 up, 3 down. No hits, 2 strikeouts that inning, no runs, and no one left on. First clean inning I think we've had for either team.
And I mean, it's only a 7-inning game, so, you know, Aberdeen's got to manufacture something quicker. You know, their guys might only get another chance at this at the top of the order.
Yeah, we're coming to the top of the 4th inning here, and leading off for Havre Grace is Brady Walker, and Brady was the one that put down that really nice squeeze bunt.
Yeah.
That was really pretty. I mean, how difficult of a skill is that, Tim?
Well, you know, the biggest thing is most of the kids don't get the bat out in front of home plate. So you have to get the bat out in front of home plate. And then you don't take well, like I say, you don't point the bat to the ball. You got to use your knees.
Right.
So if the ball's low, I'm going to bend my knees with the bat. If it's high, I'm going to stand up straight with the bat. I'm not going to stay in my stance and kind of angle the bat to it. But saying that with the squeeze, you know, right now I'd have my third baseman, you know, probably up close because he might try to drop it again.
So let me ask you a question for the other side of that. You're anticipating a potential bunt. You're telling your pitcher to pitch a high fastball, aren't you?
Almost definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you want them to get under it, pop it up.
Yes.
And I saw that in our last game with Patterson Mill and Bel Air, and the pitcher was very smart on that. And he literally made the person pop it up. But I also saw a squeeze bunt in that last game.
No, are you serious?
Again, I'm showing my old man side. I like the old days of Henderson stealing 100 bases and other players like that. Squeeze bunts, double steals.
Double steals, hit and run.
Yep.
You know, the way today's baseball went when they went with this launch angle, you wonder what Rod Carew would have been successful.
Well,
One of the best hitters ever.
I sound funny saying this, but I've always said if I was coaching a major league team, I would love to fill it with on-base percentage guys, slap hitters, and base stealers, and see what the rest of the league, how they would react to that.
I think Billy Martin tried that a couple years in Oakland, I believe.
Yep. Hey, I did a pretty good job there, Tim.
Not me, I flinched.
Came right at me, and I was ready for it.
Yeah, he needed that because that should be 3-0 right now.
Yeah, he went after one there. He didn't really have to, but I think he assumed he was going to get a fat pitch.
It was his first.
Well, I go back to the style of the batters. I love watching batters that are not guess hitters. You hear that phrase sometime. And some batters, when they have a 2-0 count, they assume they're going to get a fat pitch, and they end up swinging at ball three. You know, I love the batter who has the eye that can watch it. Asking for the appeal. Said he did not go.
He called it a strike,
Oh,
I
did
think,
he?
on the pitch.
Oh, wow. I thought
thought that was a little low.
Yeah, I thought he asked for help from the first base umpire. So I saw an interesting in our last game, Tim. I mean, you don't get 4 umpires. So we got a walk there for Brady Walker. You don't have 4 umpires in high school ball. And the umpire was on first base, where he should be. It was a left-handed batter, and the catcher asked for the appeal on a check swing. So a left-handed batter and an umpire on first base is not going to get the best view. That ball's fair, and he played it in fair. So, I mean, I guess you have nothing else to do there but try to catch that ball because you can't wait to see if it goes past the bag. It was right at the bag. Perfectly placed.
Yes, it was. Now, here's a big situation now. You got no outs.
Yeah, that was Mason
First
Waller.
and second, so, you know, we're down at the bottom of the order. We let this guy swing it away, or we're going to try to drop one.
So
here.
this is our DH, Frank Rogers, and he got the single and RBI last time. So let's see if he can manufacture another run here.
Yeah, Havre has the opportunity to you know, open this up a little bit this inning.
And the way their pitcher's pitching, that's the last thing Aberdeen would want to see right now.
By the way,
That ball's up and out of play. Well, here's the thing. Aberdeen's a 3A school, correct?
That's correct.
So they have to go through the Sea Milton, Wright, and Bel Airs and the regions, and that's tough for all 3 of those teams to battle each other. Havre Grace being a 1A school, you know, they might have an easier path to make some noise this year.
Well, they still got to go through. Bowmanor's always good.
Are they
Patterson Mill's usually a good team. So, you know, it seems like now, no matter what class you're in, you got to battle to get there.
That's a heck of a hit ball, well hit ball.
He's having trouble tracking that. It's off his glove.
It's over him. So you got 1 run scoring for sure, but let's see how quick this relay can come in here if they get the guy at home. They got a situation here. So they got the runner there, but 2 runs score. So I'm going to call that a double.
Yep, a double and 2 RBIs.
And then we have runs scored by Brady Walker and Mason Waller.
And Coach Blevins was down the line trying to hold up Waller, but I guess he ran through the stop sign and worked out for him.
So there was a little error on the bases there, and like you said, it did bring in a run, but they would have probably rather had second and third, nobody out still. But the batter there, Frank Rogers, thought the runner was going home from third, and they went partway and stopped. So he got caught between second and third. They threw behind him, and then they got him out at third, but the run came home.
Yeah, so it was a productive out, we call it.
Right. But now we have the bases emptied and nobody out, so it's like we're starting over. So that ball's popped up to left field and caught. So that was Tyler Swarka who flew out there. So we got one down, and we come back to the top of our lineup with Taylor Blevins.
We get two down because of the.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Yeah, that's the force out.
Yeah.
And not really a force out, just an out on the bases.
Out on the bases, so.
So that could have been an even bigger runner, but still 2 runs. I mean, they got a 4-0 lead here. That's a lot of fighting back Aberdeen's going to have to do here.
It's like I'm saying, it's the 4th inning. We're back at the top of the lineup for Havre, Grace. And, you know, we're still trying to work through the second time through for Aberdeen. So they really need to start.
It's a well-struck ball. Aberdeen player unable to make that play.
Yeah.
So you know the fundamentals of baseball. Even though that was well struck, did he have time to take a short, quick hop to his right to field that ball before?
Yeah.
Because he waited and backhanded it.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you do that, you've already messed up.
Yep. He had a chance even maybe to attack a little bit. But right now when you give those extra outs, Kenny's pitch count's probably climbing a little bit
Yeah, I was
here.
just thinking that. So we got Rhys Etter, and he just smacks the ball to left field.
No, he's in trouble. He's spinning.
And,
It's off his glove, it
off
looks
his
like.
glove. The runner is looking like they're coming
Here we go.
home.
We're going to play at the plate. Oh.
So double for Rhys Etter and an RBI. And you know what? That error does come back to haunt them because Taylor did score.
There's
fifth run.
again, fundamentals. The pitcher was out of position. He cut the ball off. I think I'd let that ball come through. I might have had a chance at the play at the plate.
Right. So we're at a number 3 batter, Bryce Bauer, our pitcher. He is currently 2 for 2. Been a very big help to himself. Slaps that ball off, foul to the right. Got our fans getting out of the way.
So right now, if you're the Havre Grace coach, this is where you really want to try to really pound some runs on and hopefully get to that 10-run rule so you can save pitching for later on this week.
Okay, hit batter. So now we've got 2 runners on with 2 outs, and we've got our cleanup batter, Logan Ward, up to the plate.
Yeah, Coach Arnold making a trip to the mound. It's probably a good choice there. Try to calm down Tyler Kenny a little bit.
You may start to see somebody warming up. I'm trying to see if we can see anybody down the line here or not.
Don't see
no.
anybody. That's a hard thing with high school baseball. Usually the guy they bring in is probably in the field right now somewhere.
Right,
So,
right.
you know, we'll see it when they come in to hit if we see someone grab the catcher's mitt.
And if they do switch in the middle of the inning, Tim, how many pitches does that pitcher get? Do you know? I saw like 8 to 10 last
I believe it's 8. I believe you get 8, and then every inning after that it's only 5, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, and he is switching pitchers.
Let's see what our number is here and where we're going position-wise.
It's a KJ Miller. It looks like no.
It's number 16.
Yeah.
And
KJ Miller. So probably him and Tyler Kenny are just flip-flopping position. So Kenny will probably go to shortstop, and Miller will come in and pitch.
let's see if that's what happens. And I was joking on the telecast to Don that in our last game, the Pattersonville coaches and Bel Air coaches did not make Pat and I's life easy. They were doing 3- and 4-way switches over and over through 4 pitching changes. And after a while, we got to the point where we were like, okay, we don't know who is where right now, but we're just trying to keep up with the batters and what's happening here. We do the best we can, folks. We don't have 10 spotters and this and that.
A bunch of 6 monitors in front of you so you can see every different angle.
Yes. I used to have the fortune of, well, in high school, I didn't play basketball, but I introduced the basketball team for our high school games. And then I called the football game on up in the booth. And yes, we did do some announcing of what happened and so on the run and this and that. But I actually had spotters. I had 3 or 4 guys up there that helped me with who got what tackle and whatever.
Let's see if you can get Aberdeen out of this inning.
Yes. See what stuff he has. High inside. And did we verify that Tyler did definitely, yeah, he's at shortstop.
He's at shortstop.
That's part of the thing about sports. You have to have amnesia. Tyler's got to forget about what happened pitching and focus on his next job and his at-bats.
He came in a tough situation. Got 2 runners on and a number 4 hitter up.
Yeah.
I mean, they could break the game open here a little bit right here. If you
Well, they've got Logan out both times so far, but yeah, he's the number 4 hitter for a reason, right?
That's right.
He's got to be one of their best hitters.
He's hitting .417 right now, 20 RBIs. So
I think I would take that if I was coach. Yeah.
My fault. 14 RBIs.
Wow.
That's still a lot of RBIs in high school baseball.
So that ball's straight up. So let's see who takes in charge. Looks like Tyler's going to get that.
There you go.
So that's a very big inning, doubling the lead here and going to 4-0. So I have in that inning, I have 3 hits and 2 runs and 2 runners left on base. We are in the bottom of the 4th. Call all strikes. It's getting cold. Come on. We want. No, just kidding. So,
well, I'm saying,
umpires talking to us, folks. We're having a good time with them right here. I say this all the time, Tim. I just say umping, reffing, any kind of officiating. It's a thankless job.
It really is.
Appreciate what these gentlemen do. I could never do it. You know, they say they could be right 95%, but somebody thinks they're wrong 95%. But I think they're excellent.
Do you want me to make a comment on that, Mr. Pierce? You just want me to be quiet?
So Tim has probably been. Tim's probably been in trouble with the umpires before. Have you, Tim? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Mostly respectful, but you know, once in a while. So
yeah, I could get upset every now and then.
What's our home umpire's first name again?
It's Danny Pierce.
That's awesome. I think I had him in another game. Yeah, this is a tough game to call. I mean, all sports are, but strike zone. And you got to watch the way the different umpires set up. So we got a nice hot shot to third.
That's going to be.
So you know what? I'm actually going to call that a hit. I mean, even though that ball hopped.
Yeah, it took a bad hop on him. And that's what Aberdeen needed. They needed to get that leadoff hitter on and see if we can do something now because we're in the middle of the order here.
So that was KJ Miller, our now pitcher, getting a single. And he's our number 3 batter. So let's see if he can. Do you still do the run game when you're down 5-0, or do you not want to run into outs?
Well,
Depends on the player?
Yeah, it depends on the player if he's got some speed, and hopefully you have some type of idea what the pitcher's been throwing a lot. You try to tell high school kids they have to watch the game, so you throw a strike, then they usually want to throw a curveball. So if you can get what their rhythm is, it's a little easier to steal.
So foul ball. Well, and the thing is, you got to get one before you get 2, right?
That's
so
right.
you still want to if he's fast, you take it. I mean, I want to see more of what Bryce Bauer's pickoff move is like. And we'll get a little test on Tyler Swarka's arm, and there he is. You know, it was there. It was there.
Good throw.
I mean, that was a very good throw.
And you know, there, I think that's again, I would say that's on the pitcher, because if you notice, and I tell my players to watch this, when he comes set, you can count in your head. It was 1,000, 1,000, 2, then he releases the ball.
Yeah.
And we're creatures of habits. That's what he does most of the time.
Down behind him.
Yeah.
So Aberdeen's got to definitely scratch out at least a run here. I mean, they need to start putting together 1 and 2 run innings the rest of the way. I mean, they're down here to the bottom of the 4th inning. Ball might have been a little high outside.
A little up.
So we got a 1-2 count here. Pitcher's in control. I think Bryce's need to not worry about the runner now, and I did flinch that time. Now you got to kind of focus on, you know, the batter, because I've heard a lot of coaches say before, don't let one batter affect you, base runner affect you
Right.
for the batter.
Right now, that base runner means absolutely nothing. I
Right.
mean, you got a 4-0 lead. See, again, this is what I was talking about. If you watch, when he comes set, if you count in your head, you hear 1,001, 1,002, and there he goes. So as a base stealer, you know, I would count that in my head and just take off on 2.
So let's see if he tags. He bluffed the tag. That was a well-struck ball there by our DH, Ian Walton.
Yeah, nice strong throw by the right fielder, too.
Yeah, that's Dylan Zachary Nance. 5. I apologize. We have a 5-0 lead here. We got the that extra run threw me off there because they had a 2-run inning and nobody on. But then we had an error, a stolen base, and then a base hit. Still behind him again. Threw that ball a little bit to the right field side of the base. So, and the second baseman really didn't get over there far enough probably to get that tag on. He's gone. And it's thrown into the outfield. Is he going to
We're going to have
go?
a play at the plate here.
Oops, misthrow the ball. So now we've got the speed game here.
He's not going to call it. I just saw the umpire talk to Saunders, who actually started walking back across to home plate when the ball was coming in. So he could have had another interference call almost.
Really? I thought I saw too much of a crowd around there, and I was wondering what happened, but I'm assuming he's not going to call that because the throw was so far off line.
Right.
It was going to score anyhow. I mean, it's kind of like in the NFL, sometimes they pick up the flag for interference when the ball is thrown 10 yards out of bounds.
Exactly.
So much needed run there to get the 5-1, but they still need much more. So they're only 1 out here. I mean,
Bryce Bauer looks like he's starting to have a little bit of control problems here.
that was a well hit ball. Let's see if it gets down.
Oh, and it got past the center fielder.
So he's going to.
Uh-oh.
Pretty good throw there.
Yes, it was.
Wow. So that was a double by Jaden Saunders. And still only 1 out, Tim. So they need to get another run in here if they're going to make this a game. I wouldn't think Bryce's pitch count is too terribly high because he had a couple quick innings. He had two 3-up, 3-down innings. Getting a little bit wilder right now.
Looks like he's overthrown a little bit. I think he's losing his concentration, worried about those runners too much. When he needs to just attack the hitter here.
Yeah, these hitters have been mostly striking out against him. It's another hit ball that might find some ground. And it was a smart play by our base runner. I mean,
Made sure it was down.
yeah, he didn't want to get doubled off there. So we have a single for Connor Sullivan there. And then now we have our sophomore center fielder, Jack Morrell, up. Runners on second and first and third here. This is a big opportunity for Aberdeen. Going out to talk to the pitcher.
Probably talk to the pitcher, put a defense on if he steals, if we're going to throw through, or maybe throw down the third or just eat it.
So being that we're at the bottom of the fourth inning of a 7-inning game here, Tim, I'm assuming that you're not going to pull the infield in for the play at the plate because you're going for the double play and just get one out at least. Just can't afford the beginning.
Right. We always say one's better than none. But now on the other side, if I'm in Coach Arnold's shoes, I got to pick out a pitch for Sullivan to get down to second. I've got to get him down there in scoring position. So, you know, I think he'll run him sometime. I'm not sure when. And I think the catcher will. I don't think the catcher will throw through. So, I mean, I could be wrong.
So we got Jack Morrell up here, 2 runners on base, 1 down. And low strike there. Good view of the first base side here.
Doesn't
So
have
both runners in here.
Doesn't have a very good lead.
No, I would think he could get it off a little
There he
bit more
goes.
than that.
Oh, faked it.
Another ball that could find grass.
That's
It
going-
should find grass.
Oh,
catch that?
no one's at first base though.
Oh, gosh.
there he goes.
And the runner tagged up at third.
They're tagged up at third.
So that's another one of the examples of the fundamentals of baseball. So that was a great play by our right field, Dylan Zachary Nance.
And you know, the crazy thing there is, it is fundamentals. The second baseman broke out because it was hit short, and the first baseman went where he was supposed to be cut off the home plate.
Right.
So the pitcher actually should have circled in around the first base.
Yeah, he shook his head at himself for that, knowing that he should have been there. I thought that they still had a chance to throw over there.
I did too.
I mean, Bryce was running over there, and the outfielder looked at him. I think they would have had him double off if they would have thrown it. Been a weird play, though, because Bryce was still 4 or 5 yards from the
Right.
base. So you time that throw, and so now we got a 5-2 game here, folks, and the man on first and 2 outs. But I'll tell you what, right fielder Dylan Zachary Nance, he might have prevented a huge inning there.
Yes, he did.
If that ball falls in, you know, we've got 2 more runners on base and 1 less out.
Get it, Connor.
Well, you usually put speed in the outfield for a reason, don't you, Coach?
Right.
Outside.
He's been pounding that outside corner, so I don't know if he's going to go there again or if he might try to throw a curveball here.
Helped him out there a little bit there, Tim. There was a ball. But a big pitch for Bryce there to get out of that inning.
That's big to get out of that inning.
So we're at the end of 4 innings, folks, and it's 5-2 Aberdeen. And in that inning, we had 3 hits. I want to say we had a single, 2 singles, and a double. And our leadoff batter that inning, KJ Miller, had 2 stolen bases. So 2 runs, 3 hits, and 1 left on, or 2?
1.
Okay.
So now it's now this is where KJ Miller's got to come in and get a shutdown inning here. Try to shut down the momentum, get right back in there and swing the sticks.
Well, last game was 12-2. This game's a much closer game, and it's still anybody's game right now, especially since Bryce has been pitching really well, but it's probably starting to get a little bit tired. So you start to wonder, can Bryce pitch 3 more innings, or are they going to be bringing in somebody else soon? Because Aberdeen's already on their second pitcher.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know how deep Bryce can go, but I'm sure they have, you know, someone that'll follow him that probably is a, you know, a veteran on his team on the mound. So,
So you know what I love about this sport sometimes? The guy that makes one of the last great plays in the outfield just seems to be the leadoff batter the next inning, don't they?
Off the Eddie.
So here's Dylan Zachary Nance, and he made that big play. Hits the first pitch. Let's see if he can catch this. Oops, just missed by the first baseman. I think he was a little bit too worried about the fence there.
I think he was, and that's where the catcher and the guys on the bench have to talk to him.
Yeah.
Because there again, this is an extra out now.
I've seen major league players miss balls at the fence because they
yeah.
were worried about it, so not uncommon. So Dylan had a triple in his first at bat. Boy, that pitch broke a lot, but just up high, as the umpire tells us.
That was a nice little curveball there, though. If you
Yeah.
can get that over.
You ever got the pitch, Tim?
No, never wanted to either. There we go.
Nice play by the first baseman. Helps that our first baseman is also a good infielder, I mean, it helps that our pitcher is also a good infielder.
Right.
You always like to have good fielding pitchers.
And it's a funny thing, when you see that pop up in Major League Baseball, Trey, at the mound, and the pitcher runs out of the way.
Yeah.
He was probably a pitcher in high school, was a real good athlete.
Right.
He could probably make that catch.
Yes. I was going to say, were you going to tell Jim Palmer or Jim Cott to get out of the way of a pop-up? I mean, they were gold glovers for
That's right.
15 seasons each. So now we have our center fielder, Brady Walker, up, and he's had a very productive day. He's had the squeeze bunt, he had a walk, scored runs, has an RBI.
No room, sir.
Oh, now he's hit by pitch.
Yeah.
So you do not want to be getting base runners on here for Havre Grace if you're Aberdeen. You want to keep this game a 3-run game and give yourself 3 more at-bats to tie and win this game.
And you're down here at the bottom of the order, but the bottom of the Havre Grace order has been very productive.
Yes, they have. Just Mason Waller alone, our third baseman at the bat, has had a sac bunt and a single and a run. This is his third at bat. That was close.
And again, the third baseman's back deep. This is where if you push it down that line, you're going to get another base hit.
Runner's going. Stowing down. Too late. So Brady Walker with the steal.
I'm kind of interested to see what the hitter does here. Try to get him over in the scoring position somehow.
Yeah, you do want an insurance run here, don't you? Ball a little bit low. I like how our home plate umpires signaling to the pitcher, ball's low, ball's up.
This is where Havre Grace wants to get another run, take the momentum away from Aberdeen again.
Must have been just inside.
Yeah, it must have been inside.
Beautiful lighted field here, Tim. Lights are warmed up and on, and we're into the darkness nearly, and still playing a great ball game here. I would have been in heaven if I got to play under the lights more often when I was in high school.
Well, Charles Rigger Mortis that passed away a while ago, he raised all the money to get the lights, and when Cal broke Lou Gehrig's record, Major League Baseball gave him a nice chunk of change to build the field here.
Fouled off. Yeah, Mr. Mortis and I were friends as well, and he was involved with swimming for years. A very nice guy. Always was happy to see him.
Yeah, he was involved in everything here at Aberdeen High School. So, but yeah, Rigger did a good job. He raised all that money to get the lights, and I think we're the field in Harford County lit. So,
yeah, I didn't play my first lighted game until my the only one in my sophomore year when we went to states in soccer, and then playing under your field over here in your stadium. Billy Ripken and I played soccer against each other.
That was a nice block there.
Yeah, that's a walk there. Well, this is things that people don't realize about the Ripkins, is they were good athletes in other sports too. So Cal was a basketball player and a soccer star. I got to play a winter soccer game against Cal and Billy, and Cal Senior was coaching.
We probably played against each other then.
And you're going to laugh. because he was great as a coach he was. Cal Senior was known for his temper,
Oh, yes.
and he got red carded and kicked out of the game for arguing with the referees.
Did we play over in the neighborhood?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a winter soccer game. So,
Yes.
so Tim Lindenkamp and I actually played against each other when we were kids, and we just now realized it.
Well, you know, that was just, it's still an old Briar field now, they're all grown up, but I took my kids out there because they didn't believe that I played there. And the wood goals are actually still out there.
Yeah, so that's back when, and Cal's like 3 years older than me, but we didn't have as many players back then, folks. So you didn't have single-year age groups and things like that. So you had to sometimes play with guys 2-3 years older than you.
I graduated with Cal here in 1978.
And then they had a state championship soccer team as well, correct?
That was in 79.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, of course, when the boys got older, they put a pool in, but they used to have a batting cage in the backyard. And if Cal Senior said we were hitting on January 2nd and there was 4 foot of snow on the ground, well, you better show up because he had already had it shoveled out because he was throwing.
So we got Frank Rogers, or DH, up here with 2 runners on second and third. Good chance here to widen this game is what they want to do.
And the infield's up trying to cut down the run.
Yeah, it wasn't quite fair trying to play against Cal when he was like a foot taller than me. You know, that wasn't, probably had 100 pounds on me. There's a struck ball out of play.
Well, Cal Senior was apparently a very good soccer player too back in his day.
I think they grew up down south somewhere before he moved the family here.
I don't know. He graduated from Aberdeen High School. Him
Yeah.
and Vi both graduated from Aberdeen High School.
Maybe I'm thinking where he coached for a while. I think he coached a lot of years in the minor league system for the Orioles before.
Yes.
Well, that was a big pitch for strikeout here, and they needed that. Now it puts 2 out. You know, you think there as a Havre race coach, you're thinking make contact, get this runner in from third.
Well,
So strikeout was huge there.
I wouldn't be surprised here. This is a number 9 hitter, I believe. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to drop a bunt here.
Well, you wouldn't normally think so with 2 outs, but look
2
where the
outs, you
third
wouldn't
baseman
think.
is.
Third baseman's deep.
Yeah.
He's been struggling the whole game. So
I'm actually a little bit more surprised that the previous batter didn't try too.
right.
But our new pitcher, KJ, is bringing some high heat here, and they've had trouble catching up to it.
I mean, if you get this ball in the right spot. He's got 2 strikes
Look
on him
good.
now. Now he's got to
Nice.
swing away now.
Kind of froze the batter there. He wasn't expecting that low outside after he's been throwing a couple high pitches. So this is our number 9 batter, Tyler Starka, and he's had 2 flyouts, so he's been able to make contact the whole game. That could be, yeah. That was a wild pitch for a run scored. So,
Yeah, he gripped that curveball a little too long there and bounced it in the dirt.
umpire was between the catcher and the ball, but he wasn't going to get that runner at the plate regardless. You know, a lot of it's a little bit of the luck, Tim, of where the ball kicks to. And that ball kicked off to the left there in the
now
corner.
If I'm the hitter, I'm looking for a fastball after you throw a curveball like that. And there it was, and he was sitting on it,
And he
just
was-
pulled it foul.
He was way ahead of that one.
Yeah. So, you know, again, I'm still sitting on a fastball because, you know, the pitcher might not have confidence in that curveball now, scared to bounce it again and give up another run. So I want to sit here, on this fastball and see if I can get something I can handle.
So we're back to a 6-2 lead here, folks. That was high inside. And then Havre Grace gets to start with the top of their order again soon, too. But like you said, the bottom of this order has been very productive.
He fought that off.
It was a tough pitch to fight off. You know what I love about these games, Tim, is, yeah, you got parents here, but you got grandparents.
Oh.
Seen some alumni show up. You know, it's great to see the old fans come back out and root the kids on. That's a pop-up. Runner's
Oh,
just
that
coming
might
on
be-
contact, but he's got it. So it's the third fly out. So we actually got another run here, folks, to extend the lead to 6-2. And we had a hit by pitch, a walk, and no hits to still score the run. So sometimes you just manufacture the runs, Tim.
Yes, you do.
So we're coming to the bottom of the fifth inning here. It's a very important time for Havre Grace to answer back.
Bryce Bauer's still on the mound, so his pitch count must be fine.
You definitely don't want to have to get to the 6th, 7th inning and be down 4. So they got to nibble away here at this lead and at least manufacture something.
Yeah, they need to try to get at least one back this inning, hopefully 2. You know, as a coach, I'm always looking for 1 or 2, but if I can get the crooked number, that's even better.
So our catcher running out here had to get his gear on. So Bryce threw a couple throws over to third base to warm the arm up. I mean, it's getting a little chillier here, Coach, so those pitchers got to keep those arms loose. Now, I'm assuming Bryce can play some other positions pretty well.
I would think so, yeah.
As well, I mean, pitchers are usually pretty athletic players.
Oh, nice curveball there, warming up. I don't think the warm-up catcher there liked that too much.
Crossed him up.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm only the warm-up catcher. Come on,
right.
Bryce, take it easy on me.
Throw me fastballs. Let me get out of here.
So we got our number 8 batter here, Danny France, coming up, our left fielder. And
That's why this seemed really far.
see if I have that correct. No. Yeah, number 18. Or, yep, that was it. I must have missed the batter there that last inning. I thought Danny was leading off. So
Yeah, that's this is the number 9 hitter up right now, Fleming. So he must have missed somebody.
I think, did he strike out the last man?
Yes, he did.
Yes,
Yes, he
it
did.
was. So I did have it. I just didn't write it down. So Aiden Fleming is our number 9 batter leading off, and I am not Don Morrison with scorekeeping, Tim.
And he just took a strike right down the middle.
Do you remember back then in the day, being a kid, going to the Memorial Park and you bought your scorebook and you actually sat there and you tried to scorekeep a little bit? And
There was a key word there, try.
yeah, you gave up usually by middle innings and said, okay, I'm just going to go get some cotton candy. That was outside.
Yeah, he's been hitting that corner a lot, though. He's been working it out there.
I think I normally stop scorekeeping because my father told me to stop scorekeeping because I was getting on his nerves. That was an important ball up the middle. Let's see if he could beat that out.
Oh, nice play
Wow.
by the second baseman.
Man, what a gun of a throw there. That was our second baseman, Riss Eder. Man,
That was a nice play going up the middle with a nice backhand, set his feet and threw a seat over there at first base.
our pitcher first had to dodge that ball a little bit as he was putting the glove out. And ball was well struck, but what an arm. So we got our leadoff batter, Sean Doran, coming up here, left-handed batter. He has a single and a stolen base in 2 at-bats.
A little check swing there.
A little late on that. And there's a real art to hitting, Tim, that a lot of people don't appreciate. You know, are you strictly a pull hitter? Are you a contact hitter? Some hitters are not good at the outside pitch. Others are great at slapping the ball the other way.
It's when you're younger, you got to really work on it off the tee. You move the tee around. So, you know, if it's a outside pitch, you try to learn to take it the other way. And, you know, the hard thing is with this is, like any other sport, you have a lot of kids playing and you can't find coaches. So dad coaches that doesn't know too much about the sport. But if you don't have dad, then you don't have a team.
Right.
So, you know, there's a catch-22 to everything.
Well, again, I go back to taking what the other team gives you. There's another ball to our second baseman. Comes up, fires over. And he got him, but that was a fast runner there.
Dorn
so.
gets down the base pretty quickly.
Well, again, I tell you, I'm a fan of the little incidental things that people don't notice. And, you know, you can see certain pitchers who are avoiding the inside part of the strike zone with a pull hitter. And they're throwing on the outside strike zone and just off the plate. If that batter is stubborn and is still trying to pull the ball, they call that rolling the ball over.
Yep, rolling over.
And they're just generally going to try to pull an outside pitch, and you're just going to hit a ground ball to the middle infielder.
That's right.
90% of the time. And the smart pitchers count on that. They're counting on you being stubborn, and they want you to try to pull that ball. So I love the calm batter that will just say, no, I'm just going to punch it to the opposite field.
Right. We'll go to right center field.
Mm-hmm. Nice pitch.
Yeah.
Tyler Kenny did a good job catching up with that one. That looked like a fast pitch there. Bryce is still bringing it.
Yeah.
5th inning.
0-2. I don't know. He might try to break off that curveball here since he's been throwing a lot of fastballs. Shaking off the catcher.
Is it me or is this batter seem like he's pretty on the plate?
He's up there on it.
Yeah.
He's battling too.
You know, maybe he's doing that because he knows that they've been calling the outside pitch, and Bryce has been pretty good at putting those curves on the outside corner.
Yeah, he's up there on the plate. I mean, if you could locate a fastball in the inside corner under his hands, he'd be in trouble.
Yeah, could jam him.
Oh, he's got room.
Did he catch it?
Yes, he did.
Just could not see that. That was a little fly out to the foul ground. Good job by our first baseman, Logan Ward, to snag that ball. We got some arguing here. People are saying he dropped it. Other people saying he didn't. So the Aberdeen coach is talking to the umpire. Maybe
I thought he
saying,
dropped it. He would go out and ask the first baseman. It was his call. No one went out there, so
right.
I'm pretty sure he must have got the call right then.
Really?
So maybe he eventually dropped it, but the umpire is saying he had it long enough. Could be the situation here. So that inning was a quick inning for Price. That was no runs, no hits, no one left on base.
We got Simpers coming to the mound for Aberdeen. So let's see how the defense lines up. Looks like KJ Miller went back to shortstop, and Tyler Kenny's going to third base.
Okay.
So Simpers, the third baseman, is coming in onto the mound.
So Simpers is our new pitcher. And I'm going to ask you to review that. So KJ goes back to shortstop.
And Tyler Kenny slid over to third.
So what you're doing there, Tim, is you're obviously saying that KJ's one of your best infielders. So he has the range. So let's get him back to shortstop.
Let's get him back to shortstop.
And Tyler can do a fine job over at third base. So this might be a little bit of that pitch count management we talked about for future games.
Right.
So you need to have at least one of those first two pitchers available again this week.
Right. They'll probably try to come back maybe through Thursday. Thing is, I don't know how many pitches Tyler Kenny threw, but now he's throwing all the way from third over to first. So that's still some stress on the arm. I always like to have a couple extra infielders where, if I wanted to save him, keep his bat in the line, maybe slide him over to second, maybe even first base where he doesn't have to throw so much.
So at the end of 5 innings, I have Havre Grace with 6 hits and 7 left on base, 6 runs. See what our new pitcher has here with our, looks like our leadoff batter is the leadoff batter, Taylor Blevins.
Well, that could be trouble.
Yeah.
Right fielder looked like he had some trouble finding it, but he
found it.
He found it and made a nice play.
That was a fly out for Taylor Blevins, and that was our right fielder, Sean Doran. Should still be in right
Sean
field.
Doran, yep.
So you probably really don't have to deal with the lights terribly here. like they do at the bigger stadiums with a lot more lights in your eyes. But does it a factor at all?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. I don't know. I've always played the infield, and it looks pretty bright in the infield. So I guess the big thing is, they don't practice under the lights. So, they're getting under the lights. I guess this is their second night game, and Havre Grace is first. So
This is Reese Etter at plate, and he is 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI. So you like to relay the information from the pitching coach to the pitcher to the next pitcher, and you're telling them this is what the umpire's calling. So let's take advantage of that outside strike.
one of the big thing was, I don't know if Bob does it now that he's the head coach. When Bob Arnold was my pitching coach, we kept spray charts on every kid. So I don't know if they're, if he still does that, if his assistant coaches do it, but it came in handy a lot. This is a big inning here. He's got the, top of the lineup here. He's got to try to get a 3-up, 3-down inning.
So one of the coaches in the last baseball game I did said that they can have the iPads out with information from the StatCast information, or whatever it's called. How beneficial is that in today's day and age of coaching and playing?
Yeah, it's after me. So
you're going by the eye test more. That's a well-punched ball. It's in there. So that was Bryce. So Bryce is 3 for 3 with a hit by pitch. He has been on base every at bat. So now we have Logan up, Logan Ward, and Logan has 0 for 3 with a ground out, 2 flyouts, but he hit at least one of those balls really well, if not 2.
So Aberdeen's got to have a shutdown inning here.
Catcher lost track of the ball there. Both runners moving up. Pitcher's kind of throwing them to outside low. Bouncing pitches a couple in a row here. Couple recent ones. So now you've got one base hit can bring in 2 runs here. That ball could stay in play.
He made the catch.
He made the catch, so a fly out. That was a big out.
That was a very big out.
That's what he needed.
Good illustration.
So the people can't see it here. There's a fence down the line of the backstop, but then there's another fence about 5 yards to the right of that.
It kicks out on both sides.
That gives us a little bit of a idea of how much range your first and third basemen have for hitting foul balls in foul territory. It's a tough job to do. At least they don't have tarps and stuff to fall over like they do at the major league stadiums and ball girls and stuff. And it's a nice pitch there. Sometimes you get the error where the ball boy or ball girl fields the ball when it's still in play or up in the air and the fielder's coming over. They're like, oops.
This is a key hitter here. He needs to get out of this inning here. Keep Aberdeen in this ball game.
Okay, it's a ground ball. Let's see what kind of arm we got here. Called him out. So we were just talking about the importance of fielding and KJ Miller at shortstop and why he's there. He had to let the runner clear that ball. The runner strategically almost ran right in line of that ball. And then had a gun of an arm and threw it over there.
Bang, bang play.
So we had 2 singles that inning, but no runs. So what do you think of this play here, Tim? Ground ball.
Yeah, he got him.
Yeah. Because the umpiring's outstanding here today. We're saying that as the umpire's staring at us, folks. So I was intimidated into complimenting the umpire.
Chad Blevins waved to us when to go to replay. So we're here in New York saying you guys are good.
But did you see how the runner hopped over that ball?
yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you know this, but some of the fans that know it, if you get hit by that ball, you're out.
Yeah, you're out. Yeah.
But KJ showed a gun of an arm there, that was for sure. So at that inning, we had 2 hits, 2 left on, but no runs. So now we're coming to the bottom of the, is this the 6th
Bottom
inning?
of the 6th.
Yeah, they're running out of at-bats, Tim. So
Aberdeen's in the middle of their lineup, so if they're going to do it, they're going to need to do it now, it looks like.
So far Aberdeen has 2 runs, and they only have 4 hits. But they've had some runners on base in other ways, and they've left 4 runners on base. So our leadoff batter here happened again. KJ Miller making the great play in the field, and then leading off the other inning. And he's had 1 hit and 2 at-bats, and he had 2 steals. So if he can get on, he can make things happen.
1-1 count now. Bryce Bauer came with 2 curveballs right off the bat.
What's their record position?
That's the pitch he wanted there.
Yeah, down a little bit.
Oh, that's not bad.
Bryce, he might close this game out. And he's going to have some quick innings to do so. That helped. KJ was wound up for that one.
Yes, he was.
But he helped out Bryce a little bit. That was a little high inside.
All right, then. Okay.
You know a lot more about pitching than I do, Tim, but they say that high fastball is hard to catch up with.
Yes, it is, but it looks so good when it's coming.
That was I don't think he meant to put that pitch right there. Is KJ going to try to get 2 on that, or is he going to hold up? He held up. Now, I'm going to say they throw behind
They
him.
threw
and almost
behind
got
him, and he almost got him.
So I'm going to say here, Tim, that Bryce is pitching a heck of a game, and he's
He dropped a ball.
hitting the ball like crazy, but that's not where he wanted to locate that pitch. He was heading the count, and he actually put that right in the middle of the plate.
Yeah, he threw a curveball, hung it up a little bit.
But you know what? Those errors are going to happen on the pitcher. I mean, that's hard not to do. I've seen many a major league pitcher pitch like a brilliant game, and they just said, I just made 2 bad pitches.
So again, he's worried about that runner he just threw over. I think concentrate on the hitter here. That runner
So-
can't hurt you right now.
There it is.
Oh,
and that's
man.
through. And let's see if he'll take second to third. Nope.
No.
But he did a smart thing there. He forced the throw.
Oh, that was a nice throw, too.
Oh, so that's great because then
Well,
you have a younger team.
I'm assuming, knowing you as a coach, you like aggressiveness probably.
Oh,
So,
yes.
I mean, you like that KJ turned the toner there and made him throw that, because even though it was a nice throw, if it wasn't and it gets by that third baseman, then each runner can move up a base. So I'm gonna do a little coaching of my own here. You brought this up last time that Aberdeen got runners on base. You said Bryce should just focus on the batter, don't let him have the beginning. He seemed to let the runners get to him a little bit. He's focusing on them. So let's see what happens here. Now, last time Jason Saunders was up, he got a double and a run. He's 1 for 2. Big part of the game here.
Right, yeah. You just got to challenge him and go right at him here. So if he gets by him, I think, the bottom of the order has been struggling for Aberdeen a little bit.
Another hit ball. He's going to third.
Oh, nice play.
That was our shortstop, Taylor Blevins, and that was an important play.
And it was the right play because he was moving towards third. So his momentum's taking him there. So that was a good read, a good throw. Connor Sullivan needs to get a hit here for Aberdeen.
Slap that one to the right side, a little bit behind it. That would have been big if he puts that down the right field line.
Right.
Because even though the right fielder is playing over there pretty good distance, I mean, that ball probably clears 2 runners if you can get one down the line. But they did a big thing there, getting that force at third there, because KJ's a fast runner.
Right. I see Bauer saw that swing, though, so he was behind it, so he just tried to pump up a fastball there. I'd probably come at him with another one. Oh,
Just missed.
I think he was getting that a little earlier in the game.
I think the way the catcher caught that ball, you know how they say framing
Yep.
a pitch? He kind of boxed that pitch out a little bit, and he didn't get that call. Sometimes you can buy a call. Another one of my favorite things about Adley Rutschman is how he can frame a pitch and get an umpire to call that strike.
Oh, yes, he does.
That's an interesting thing to practice, though, when you're coaching your catchers, how to do that, you know? That's straight up, and that should be an out, but let's see who calls it.
Should be an infield fly,
It did not get caught.
but it's an infield fly. You advance on your own, so that's a good call.
So the batter is,
Batter is out.
okay, what are they calling here?
Yeah, it's an infield fly, so the batter's automatically out, and the runners can advance on their own.
Okay.
So,
Who's it there?
so Walton went ahead and advanced to third on that as soon as it hit the ground. But he didn't have to run at all because as soon as the infield fly, the runners can freeze.
Oh, they get to choose.
We got 2 outs now.
So we got Jack Morrell up, and two outs, 2 on. Bottom of the 6th inning here. Runners on first and third. Jack Morrell up.
Coach Levin's going out to talk to
That's smart.
Bauer.
Calm him down. Tell him focus on his batter. You got 2
That's right.
outs. I think I just read part of his lips, and he said just throw strikes. I mean, you're talking about your bottom of the order is 0 for 5.
Right.
So, you know, go at him.
I mean, you get him here, and then I think I'd send him out for the 7th because you're going to face 8-9-1. So this is a key hitter here.
How common is it to see a complete game by a starting pitcher in high school?
Not too common anymore.
Okay.
You got the 2 things. You got pitch count, get you, and usually, you know, you're watching that because you want to use that pitcher maybe for another game later in the week. So I think he just went out and said challenge him, go right
Yes.
at him, and
Yeah.
see if he can hit it.
Trust your stuff.
That's right.
Can't imagine a position in baseball where the mental part of the game is more of a factor than pitcher. I mean, pitcher and catcher are involved with every single play. I
right.
mean, so let's see if he challenges him
He's
here.
been a little outside with that one. I think he's going to challenge him.
I'd go high. You know, I think the batter is going to be tempted to swing. There it is.
There it is.
So that was a good bit of coaching there, and they did come up with 2 singles in that inning, but no runs. So I'm going to count up Bryce's strikeouts here. I count 7, 8, 9. He's at 9 strikeouts now. Well, maybe I actually got one more here. 7, 8, 9. He's at 10 strikeouts. That's
Wow.
awesome. So you're correct. The next inning, they're going to be coming up with the bottom 2 of the order, 8, 9. So
Right.
if they bring Bryce out here, they're in a good situation. So for Havre de Grace, you know, you want to get a tack-on run here. Top of the 7th inning. They just want to put one more run on the board here. They already got a 4-run lead. So we are coming in here at the top of the 7th inning, Tim, with Brady Walker coming up, and Brady has been on base every time.
Wow.
He had the bunt, the squeeze bunt that was huge to bring in Dylan Zachary Nance, who had a triple before him, and then he walked, he scored. He got hit by a pitch, stole a base, had a run. So he's scored 3 of their runs, and he's knocked in 1. So that's a pretty good day for the number 6 batter.
And put the ball about 4 feet in play.
Yes, yes.
Can't beat that day.
No. So how many feet did you hit the ball today in your 3 at-bats?
That's right.
4 feet.
Yeah.
How many times were you on base? 3 times? What? Well, that's a good eye.
That's right.
And that's a good skill with the bunt. Did what his coach asked him to do, right?
Well, Simpers needs a big shutdown inning here, and hopefully Aberdeen can manufacture something in the last inning.
That was close.
Might have been down a little bit.
Catcher looking over to his coaches for a little bit of input. Oh, he just got a piece of that.
Fought that off.
It's a nice swing. See some of the fans in the foul ground here putting their hoodie jackets on and stuff now. It's that time of year, Tim, where we start off with one temperature and by the end of the game it's 15, 20 degrees colder.
Oh, nice curveball there. Keep it foul.
Just fouled it.
Yeah, I think we started, it was like 62 and we're at 50 now. So beautiful Maryland weather.
So am I doing my baseball history right when I say number 42 is Jackie Robinson, who was high inside?
Yeah.
So with being my obvious here, loving the small ball game and the speed game, how many times Jackie Robinson stole home? That's just crazy. Have you ever seen anybody steal home?
No, and I tell you, the one that was the World Series against the Yankees, I mean, that was unbelievable. Yogi Berra had a fit. He thought he had him.
I think a few players have done it in recent years, but it's very rare at any level.
Oh, yeah, it's very rare.
I want to say I think I saw Ichiro do it one time for Seattle. Yeah, he got the outside corner on that one.
Oh, did they play here today?
Yeah, he doesn't want this other run to score here. I'm sure Chad's going to try to get him down the second. He's creeping out there pretty good right now.
So you got Mason, and that could be a tough place. He just got him. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a good play. Was that our third baseman
Yeah,
there?
that was Tyler Kenny, who's at third now. Too slow to turn a double play.
I actually thought it was almost going to be too slow to get even the man.
Yeah.
But he just got him. But it was a good effort on Brady trying to slide in head first to second base. But
Like an hour of play and you're done.
so now we got our DH Frank Rogers up, and another productive day, 2 for 3 with a single and a double. He's knocked in at least a couple of the runs, 3 of the runs. Counted for half of their runs. That's impressive.
Yeah, the bottom of that order has just been very impressive for Havre Grace tonight.
Yeah, normally you would think with as many people as you got out in the top 4 or 5, you think you've had a great game, but sometimes the bottom of the order picks you up for you. You got the runner running.
Oh, boy, he was sitting on that.
Yeah, and you know what? Our base runner, Mason Waller, had that base stole
Yes, he
if it
did.
wasn't a foul ball. That was what you call stealing on the pitcher again. He had a huge jump. Outside, high.
He needs a nice little one hopper to the second baseman. I would like to see that and turn a double play and get out of the inning.
Low inside, fought it off nice.
Fought that off nicely.
I probably would have done 3 spins as I swung at that ball, Tim, and pulled my back out. But people don't realize how much of a ballistic sport baseball is. Swinging that bat, what that does to your trunk and torso, I mean. Got that ball. Let's see if it.
Take it yourself. 1.
Nope, too late.
Too late.
So they almost got in each other's way out there on that ball. But I don't know that he was going to get a double play on that anyhow,
No,
because that ball kind of blooped there.
It's hit awful soft. Little communication there.
So now we got Tyler Swart, our number 9 batter, and our catcher up to the plate.
He's going to pitch hit here for him, it looks like.
Yeah, so it looks like, is he pinch hitting or is he just talking to him?
Oh, he's taking bringing someone in to run
Courtesy
for the
runner.
DH.
Yeah. So that looks like number 9, Wayne Hudson, the left fielder that is DH'd for, is pinch running for the DH. So with a 4-0 lead and 2 outs, will he run? Now that's a really tough ball, and I don't think you quite have the room to get to that one.
That's out of play.
Dan, you should have gone faster.
Yeah, you don't want him to score this insurance right here. But again, Aberdeen's got a lot of work to do. He's creeping out there a little bit. There he goes.
High inside, that's going to be a tough ball to throw. Good job blocking it. Yeah, that's a tough job being a catcher. My wife was an outstanding catcher, and I've seen her get run over a few times too. And man, the knees, I mean, there's no way my knees could handle catching a ball game.
No, I don't know how they do it.
You see some catchers drop on one knee when they catch some, and others just squat the whole time.
This is important to bat here.
Yeah. They do not want to give up another tackle and run by for Havre Grace. Number 9 batter, over 3, but he's flew out all 3 times, and there he goes again.
Left field.
Let's see what our left fielder does with this one.
Back.
Got it. Hit that ball well.
Yes, he did.
So we have no runs and no hits that inning, and 1 left on base. So if that is Havre Grace's last at bat, they have had 4, 7, 9 hits in the game, and they have left they've left a lot of runners.
Yes,
on.
they have.
I mean, I see 7, 10 runners left on base, but the important thing is they are winning right now. So Aberdeen needs a big inning here.
Trying to see.
Coach has the team in a little bit of a huddle.
Looks like.
You got a new pitcher?
Looks like is that Tyler Blevins is going to come in, going to close this out.
So like we said, in the game, Bryce pitched a very good game. He did give up 9 hits, but he really fought out of most of the situations, and 10 strikeouts doesn't hurt him.
No, he fought out of he fought out of all those innings. He had a lot of times where he had first and third, second and third, and just battled right out of it.
He had a 3 up, 3 down second inning, but that was the weird inning where they had the interference call.
Right.
And then in the 3rd inning, he had 3 up, 3 down. The big innings for him was the 4th inning. He gave up some runners, but he also had another 3 up, 3 down 5th inning. And then the way he battled out of the last inning.
Yeah, that was.
2-1 right away. And the key play was, if I'm not mistaken, that was the inning where they got the runner out of 3rd on the 4th out.
That's right.
That was big. And then you had a fly out. If that happens the other way around, it's a run scored.
That's right. It's a 6-3 game.
If you advance the runners and then you get the sac fly, or if he doesn't throw the guy out of 3rd and you get the sac fly, you score a run. Situational baseball is huge here. So again, remind me, our new pitcher is Taylor Blevins.
Yeah, and I didn't see.
And let's see where Bryce went. So
Trying to see who's that.
Is Bryce in the field?
I believe Bryce might be at shortstop. Yes, number 2.
Okay, so they just did a simple switch.
Yep, simple switch.
Thanks for making it easy for us, Coach.
That's right.
So this is what you would call a non-save situation since it's 4 runs difference, but to me it's still a save situation. Big outs that he has to get here. So Danny France is up. He's 0 for 2 for the day. Got a called strike there.
It looked like his first 2 fastballs. He took a little off of that one. Looks like he didn't have much time to warm up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's who's that pitch hitting for France?
Got a new batter?
Yeah, I can't see the number. Umpire's blocking me. Number 25 was pitch hitting for France.
So that was Dan Olivet.
Olivat, yeah.
So he struck out.
And here comes Fleming now.
He's our number 9 batter.
Number 9
He's
hitter.
0 for 2. An impressive first strikeout for the pitcher. So he has an interesting pitching stance here, motion. He kind of opens up and closes up. Tell me what you think about this. He steps to his left, and then he comes home.
Yeah, hides the ball pretty well. Looks like right now he's just throwing a fastball and a changeup, though. I haven't seen a curveball. He has taken something off the fastball.
So 3-1 count here. You need base runners. So you have 2 schools of thought here, Tim. He has to come to me, I'm going to swing, or I'm going to make him throw me the second strike in case I can walk. So that's up. Is it in play? It is.
Oh, he dropped it.
Did he?
Yes, he dropped it.
Oh, I thought he had it. Okay. New life here. We got a full count. Aberdeen needed that help.
Yeah, usually in a game like this, 6-2, you're probably going up the bat, taking a strike.
Right, but now.
Yeah, he's got a battle now.
And that might have been ball 4. But
oh, that was a nice curveball there.
Wow.
Hey, I tell you what, 3-2 curveball, you have a lot of confidence in yourself to throw that.
So counting Bryce's strikeouts for 10, they've now struck out as a team 12 batters for Havre. That's impressive. Talking about 21 outs to get in the game, and you've got more than half of them are strikeouts. So now we're back to our leadoff batter.
Hitter.
And Sean Doran, he's been on base with a single, and he stole a base. And he struck out once and grounded out once.
That was a nice curveball there, too.
This looks like a good starter-closer combo here for Havre Grace. That could bode well for them down the road.
Another one.
Nice. Oops. Did he?
Yeah. So now you're thinking, he just threw me 2 of those. If I'm looking for that, he's going to pound a fastball by me. So he's in a little trouble here, the hitter. Oh, he overthrew that.
he got pumped up for that one, Tim.
He said, I'm gonna throw this thing as hard as I can.
So I'm making ESPN top 10. Let's see here.
Oh. Showed it to him and tried to come back with that curveball.
So I don't know if he would do it yet, but sometimes you get your catcher who's just going to try to calm him down a little bit. But looking over at the bench here from his coach for what he wants him to call for this pitch. Yeah. You going fastball or curveball here?
I'm going to throw the fastball. Oh, man. I'd have spun myself in the ground on that one.
Yes.
That was a nice pitch.
So that was quite of a strikeout there. So we are done. So what a great ending. I mean, you got Taylor Blevins come in there to close the game out. Yeah, strikes out the side.
Yeah, and threw some nasty curveballs there, man.
So,
yeah. Yeah, that was, Havre Grace retains the fungo for another year. So Havre will have to bounce back and try to get the fungo back next year.
So at the end, let me go to the wrap-up stats here for you, Tim. So Aberdeen finished with 2 runs, 6 hits, and they left 6 on base. And obviously our final score is 6-2 here, but I'm going to call my player of the game here is our starting pitcher, Bryce Fowler. I mean, 10 strikeout game, only gave up 6 hits. So I'm a little off on the hits here. I think I had the wrong one, and Aberdeen had 6 hits, so it was Havre that had 9 hits. So Bryce only gave up 6 hits, had 10 strikeouts, and he was on base every time.
Yeah, he's definitely the player of the game.
Yes.
That's for sure. Yeah, nice outing.
So it was a quality game. I mean, close 6-2 to game. Both teams had opportunities. Both teams had some great defensive plays. We had a few mishaps in the field, but we also had some outstanding plays. I mean, my favorite play was probably the force out at third, and fielding-wise, and then probably batting-wise, again, some big hits, but I love the suicide squeeze.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was great. I think the big thing was, like you said, the force out at third. That could have changed an inning. The squeeze, that opened up an inning for a couple runs. And again, the one inning where you had the batter interference.
Yes.
You know, you don't get that. You know, you have a man on second, which only 2 outs instead of, 3 outs and down to the inning.
Yes, well, Tim, it was great having you here. Thank you for joining us. I mean, this is your school, and you saw a good game, and we are at your beautiful facility. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and thank you very much.
So, folks, we have Havre Grace moving to 9-4, and we have Aberdeen dropping to 6-6. Final score here, 6-2, Havre Grace over Aberdeen. I'm Ray Cruz with Tim Lindekamp. Enjoyed having you. Stay tuned for our next telecast.